We enter into this Shabbat with heavy hearts and with prayers on our lips, asking Hashem to bring peace to Israel, to our brothers and sisters, and to the whole region. Unfortunately, what one has seen is an escalation where there has been rockets, hundreds of them, raining down onto the civilians of Israel, something that nobody can accept, no country can bear, that its civilians are subject to rockets flying into their cities. And we grieve the 9 lives that have been lost in Israel. We grieve the lives that have been, civilian lives that have been lost in the Gaza Strip. We ask Hashem to bring healing to all of those who need to be healed. And may Hashem bring stability and strength to our brothers and sisters in Israel and peace to the entire region. So this Shabbat we begin the book of Numbers, just a few days before Shavuot. And we are told that the reason why Hashem numbers and counts the Jewish people, in fact 4 times that we are aware of in our book, once when we came out of Egypt, once when we worshipped the golden calf, once when we built the Mishkan, the sanctuary, and as we were entering into the promised land. And we are told that God counts us again and again out of chibatam, because of God's love for the Jewish people. He counts us because we matter and we're so important to Him. But there's a little bit of a strange issue relating to numbering people. Because in our world, we normally number items, assets, things that can be reduced to a number. We know that in a society, the vehicles of the military are numbered because they are so numerous and there's so many of them. The best way to keep track of them is by numbers, number plates on our cars. And then there are, of course, numbers that are branded into cattle. And then there are numbers that relate to situations where people have been reduced from their humanity, such as prisoners who bear numbers and are called number such and such. And of course the terrible, painful experience of the Holocaust, where our parents, where our families who experienced the Holocaust had numbers branded onto their inner arm, saying to those individuals, you matter not at all as a human being. You are merely reduced to a number. You are nothing. So how does numbering express love? In our world, we love to express designer individuality when it comes to people. We want to know people for their wisdom, for their knowledge, for their achievements, for their accomplishments, for the kindness, for all of the attributes that they have. Surely we would want to express our love to another human being by understanding their individuality and appreciating the significance of what makes them unique. So how is it that God seems to give us importance by numbering us? Well, what has happened in society that is so involved with the individual's capacity, ability, achievement, accomplishment, is that we have come to overemphasize it. We have begun to value the wealth that people achieve, the good looks that people are blessed with, the accomplishment and the achievements and the status and the class to such an extent that we only do business with the wealthy. And we only love and appreciate those who are beautiful and good looking on the outside. We seem to only want to be associated with people extremely clever or knowledgeable. We want to be identified with a class that is distinguished. We begin to define humanity and human life only by their achievements, and we forget the inner value. So yes, numbers can reduce a human being, but numbers can also identify something that is transcendent of our achievements and our accomplishments. And in a matter of life and death, in a moment where the situation requires response to saving a life, at that point, we transcend the differences between human beings. No one person has redder blood than the next. We don't say that we're going to save this individual rather than that individual because they are younger or because they are smarter, because they are more powerful, because they are a leader. When it comes to the essential issues of life and death, life is determined by that inner core, that soul, that which we share equally, every single one of us, having a part of God inside of ourselves. When God numbers us, He doesn't stoop lower than our abilities and achievements to demean us. He transcends our achievements and accomplishments and says, remember that you matter as my child, not because of the degree of nachas that you bring me, which is also important, but when it comes to my love for you as a child, you are my child, every single one of you. We transcend the differences of achievement and accomplishment, and we value and understand life itself, the soul that is within each and every one of us. And as we enter into the festival of Shavuot, just a few days before the great re-experience of Revelation, and I urge everyone to please try and get to shul on Monday morning when we read the Ten Commandments and we relive that experience of Revelation. God numbers us just these few days before Shavuot. He loves us. He expresses his love through numbering us because he wants to draw our attention to that inner strength inside of ourselves that transcends all of our achievements and accomplishments and external abilities and good looks. This is about a moment of touching soul. May all of us reach deep into ourselves to find that inner humanity that is equal in every single one of us as children of God. And may we go into this moment of revelation at Sinai to receive the Torah in a way of joy and happiness and in a way that affects us deeply and affects the way we conduct our lives in the days that are beyond the festival of Shavuot. I wish you a wonderful Shabbos. I wish you a beautiful Yom Tov that lies beyond. And please may Hashem send the speedy redemption so that we are resolved from all of the trauma and difficulties that we are suffering in Israel and throughout the world. Good Shabbos.